The Spicy Hill Community Clinic is now in Duncan's. Join Dr. Donaldson and friends on Saturday, June 26, 2021, from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Stephen James Infant School in Duncan's, Trelawney for a community health clinic. Get your doctor checkup, eye screening, pap smear, HIV and syphilis test, blood pressure check, blood sugar check, NHF card application. Donate blood at our blood drive and learn about blood pressure and blood sugar management. Registration fee is only $1,000. This community health clinic is brought to you with the kind support of Trelawney Cooperative Credit Union, Phoenix Health and Vision Care Center, Jamaica Cancer Society, Jamaica AIDS Support for Life, Carib Sales, Duncan's Bakery, Hillside Enterprise, and AJAG Hardware. Fit FM 96.7 will be there to bring live updates throughout the day. All COVID-19 protocols will be observed. So join Dr. Donaldson and friends on Saturday, June 26th for Community Health Clinic from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. at the Stephen James Infant School with live coverage from Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
In the morning, as I rise, put on my tracks, so that exercise me want to fit, me want to fit.
There is never a break from keeping fit and maintaining great health. Join me, Mr. Fitness, weekday mornings at 6:30 a.m. on Fit FM 96.7 as we jumpstart your day with fun aerobics exercises to get your heart pumping and your body moving. Get fit. It's worth it. Fit FM 96.7, Trelawney's Radio, your life, your music.
Are you struggling with loneliness? Feeling depressed? Are you searching for a purpose to live? Are you ready to tap into your inner greatness? Ready to soar to your full potential? Come and be inspired. Join me, Dr. Asha Mwendo, on Healing Moment inside Gospel and Soul every Wednesday, 6 p.m., where we will help you to understand your purpose. We will help you to find your wind. We'll show you how to open your wings and fly. Healing Moments, Fit FM 96.7, your life, your music. How are we this evening? It's good to be here with you again. Good evening, DJ Snow. Thanks for setting the pace. I was here dancing up a storm. Yes, I'm here. So this evening, you are listening to me, Dr. Asha Mwendo, on Healing Moments on Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music. And remember now, we want you to participate and communicate with us. And so therefore, I'm going to ask you to join us on Fit FM 96.7 on radio. Fit FM 96.7, all social media platforms. And just in case you can't do that, listen to us on fitfmja.com. You want to take part in the conversation? Give us a WhatsApp at 876-482-4944 or call or message and also WhatsApp at 876-317-1991. And so therefore, we are inviting you this evening to be part of the conversation. Remember, as always, Healing Moments stands for and call for the elimination of violence against our women and girls. And this evening, hopefully coming in very soon, will be my guest, Sergeant Wayne Wallace. And what will we be talking about this evening? We're continuing our Healing of the Nation series, and this evening we are looking at safety and security through partnership and parenting. So guess what? You know the drill, right? You're going to get your pen, tell a friend, listen to this music until you come right back.
Christ held me in his arms and gave his love to me. Yeah, gave me my heart's desire. His love enfolds me. His love protects me, and I'm so thankful. Now I am his. If time would stand still and keep me here this way, you know what? Lord, I'll be satisfied just being here with you. Lord knows you set my heart on fire, 'cause I know you're here. My body and soul belong to you. Lord, I'm so thankful that I am yours. I'm praising God all the time. Praising God, oh, yes, I belong to you, and you belong to me. Yes, we're together. If that's enough for you, it's enough for me. If time would stand still and keep me here this way, you know what, Lord, I'll be satisfied just being here with you. There's no explaining the love we share. It's just between us two. I can't stay away from you. You won't stay away from me. It's where I belong. And right now, I'm praising God all the time. Praising God, oh, yes, I belong to you, and you belong to me. Lord, we're together. If that's enough for you, it's enough for me. And I just want to say, I'm praising God all the time. Praising God all the while. Yes, I belong to you, and you belong to me. Yes, we're together. If that's enough for you, it's enough for me. I'm praising God all the time. I'm praising God all the while. Yes, I belong to you, and you belong to me. Yes, we're together. That's enough for you. It's enough for me.
Welcome back. We are having a good time in studio. I tell you, we're really having a good time. So, as I told you, I'll introduce my guests later on, but you know, we always have our Let Us Talk. So, for our Let Us Talk this evening, you know, I normally talk about current affairs and things that are happening, and so many bad things are happening. So, guess what I have decided to do? Act like nothing bad now go on. Right? So this evening, I am going to just look a little bit at where we are, what is happening in our lives, and where we're going. So, of course, we continue to have interesting times, and we are in a time of conscious awareness. Despite COVID and everything that is going on, we still have some people very conscious and very aware. And we also look at consciousness and awareness, and one for more and different is kind of what let us have some of the problems that we have, and poor parenting and all of that. What do I mean by that? Generation X came along right after the baby boomers, my generation and this generation. We come along and we link up, and we started to call for change. So we called for change in many things, and one of the things we had called for change in is the way parenting was happening. So we said parents and grandparents went too wicked. They ought to murder the picnic them. And if they were alive now, they would go to prison. And so we throw out what they were doing without having a plan in place. So the Generation X started the change. Then the millennials came along and says, we want it now, and the old way needs to go. And we want it now, we want it new. Old don't know, but the new have it. But to add to that, we have now the Generation Zs who are kind of running things under the quiet. So they did not just only want it now. They want it now. They are going to change and show us how. So they didn't only tell us they want it now, but they were also going to tell us how they want it and show us how to give it to them. And they want to see how it would benefit them. However, we are going to leave some of the craziness behind. That's what they thought, if we, this generation, don't get with it. So they decide that they're going to leave us behind if we don't decide to get with it. And we can attest to say we have a lot of stuff going on these days. Technology is out of this world. Persons are coming in creative ways. So what am I talking about? While some of the baby boomers, plus Generation X, plus the millennials and the Zs are working hand in hand for cohesive transition across the age gap, you still have some persons who are working outside of the cohesiveness, and they are the ones giving us the challenges. The Gen Zs and millennials have similar viewpoints about leading issues. So they tend to kind of work hand in hand, want to do the same things, but they want it now still. But the good thing about it is the Generation Zs are willing to work with everybody to show you how to give it to them how they want it. Right? So you have some people who want it now, and you must find it and give them. And you have a set who will show you how to give it to them. And if you're going into a relationship, what kind of partner would you prefer? One who just tell us him want it slung and fold him hand, or one who tell us he or she wants it and then show you how to give it to them? Right? I think I'd prefer the one who showed me the how, right? And so the millennials came of age in the time of Great Depression. So when they came of age, things was falling apart. But when they started their journey, it was not supposed to be so. Generation Z is coming to age now. They are coming of age now. Guess what? In a time of great uncertainty. So they were in line to inherit, the generation millennials were in line to inherit strong economy with low unemployment records. And then guess what happened? Yes, you know it. COVID-19 came and stir up everything. And so, while we are now living in a continuum of impact of COVID, it is continuing. None of us can safely say what tomorrow will look like. COVID is still happening and we are still navigating and learning. So the full impact is still not a quantifiable thing. We can't quantify it. We can only be recording now. So what we are doing now, in case we don't realize it, is creating the history compilation that the others coming after us will inherit. So we have to practice to get it right. So I want to say to our people, as the government do a crazy thing, to me, this whole new thing or paradigm is kind of crazy. So guess what happened? What I'm seeing happening now is that we're going to stay out from Monday to Saturday night. We can stay out. Well, we were saying we can stay out until 11 o'clock, but that is not quite true because 11 o'clock you're supposed to be in your house, right? So you guys stay out around 10, depends on where you live, 10:30 to home. You have to stay out. But come Sunday evening, you go home 6 o'clock. So I was looking at it and wondering at it, but I can see the economics of what is playing out. And then, as I said to somebody, work with it because guess what? Then you get to go home early because now you're going to party Friday night. You're going to party Saturday night. So you get Sunday night to rest and go to work fresh. That's the only reason I can give. But I want to warn us, summer is here, right? And the partying season starts somewhere July, mid-July, going into August. And I am telling you, if you don't play it right, come 1st of July, and you mess up the numbers, and they start to rise, this place going to lock down tighter than a sardine can. So we now have to be responsible citizens. So what COVID have done, what all of this have done is create an emotional and psychological impact. So far is being seen across generation, divides, and in some very troubling ways. People cutting children short, them women short, children getting beaten, children are pose up as smoke up. And all of these things are just reflection of what is happening in the society and where we are. And some of it, like the children smoking and other people laughing, is stress buster, really. So the Gen Zs, despite the challenges, are on track. Guess what? To be the best educated generation to date. And that is a great thing because guess what? Now they are standing on our shoulders and they are seeing farther than we have seen, and they are creating the change we need. So while we work on keeping numbers down, participate and obey the curfew signs. If you want to get vaccinated, get vaccinated. If you don't want to do it, don't do it and keep silent. It is your business. Don't try to influence others. We also need to focus on keeping the population holistically well. And we have to do that together. So let me pause a while and big up some of my persons on Facebook. Melcinda, you are over so faithful. You're always here. Mr. Fitness, my friend. Fitness for life. I see you on. I see you here. I did tell Sergeant how you tell me you're going to walk with everything charged up, that you make sure you are on. And you are on. And I see you send me great things. And you say, London not so cold tonight. That's good. Yes, Melcinda, we're very festive around here, right? And Neville Jones, thanks for joining us from New York. And Neville is saying, good evening again. As a son of Trelawney, could you give my regards to Mrs. Sonia Knowles, Mrs. Sidon Merchant, and Mrs. Molly Thomas. So we're going to big up these persons. We're bigging up Miss Knowles. I know Miss Knowles personally. And picking up Miss Sedan and Miss Molly. And all of this big up coming from Neville Jones. Right. So I have with me my guest, and I'm going to bring him into the conversation right about now. But just before he comes on, listen to a little bit of music while we transition. Welcome back. Yes. So as I told you, the gentleman I have sitting in studio with me this evening, for those in Trelawney, needs no introduction. I nearly want to say in Jamaica needs no introduction. And almost some other foreign countries don't need an introduction either. But out of due respect to my listeners far and wide, and I'm glad I'm having you on with me this evening. This evening I have with me Sergeant Wayne Wallace. He is a police officer. However, safety and security is his passion. It's something he believes in, and therefore he's able to do it very well. Somebody said to me yesterday evening before I got home, me hear you're carrying on this smiling policeman. I said, yes, I'm going to carry on this smiling policeman. Somebody said to me, don't make him give you any trouble when he come in here. He is a troublemaker. Right? But the good thing about is his heart is in the right place, right? So, Sergeant Wallace, use your mic and tell the people them how they do.
How they do, people?
You don't have to use my exact words.
Well, I follow instructions, I follow instructions. But greetings, everyone. This is your police. And as you know, I am Wayne Anthony Wallace, the Sergeant of Police, right here in Trelawney, the island of choice, or the parish of choice.
Of course, it's a parish of choice.
I am happy to be here in Fit FM studio for the very first time. And I must say that this is part of my 49th birthday celebrations, to be sitting in studio, having one beautiful lady on my right and another beautiful one facing me right across the aisle as our producer Julia Meikle Benaya.
Yes. Right. So remember, you're listening to Healing Moment, and my guest is Sergeant Wayne Wallace. And so, other than being a police, Sir Wayne, and other than that, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, by the way.
Thank you very
much. I
much.
tell you already, but me tell you again. I must tell you, people, we spent Sunday together.
Father's Day.
All day.
All day.
It was an exciting day.
Oh, Lord.
It had good, in between, and indifferent.
Yes.
I'm not calling nothing bad this day. So we had different experiences that helped to build our journey. And so we shared it on Sunday. We get cake, we sit down in a gorge, we had pan them to let we through. We do all kind of things, interesting things. However,
we drank Malta.
Yes, we drank more than one malt.
and she left her chicken on the car top, wondering whose food is this. When she reached home, she messaged me and said, secure my food, don't make it waste. I said, oh my God, it was yours. But I believe that as part of the healing process, she did not buy that food for herself or her family. It was ordained to feed somebody else. Yes. And that man who I gave the food, he said, God bless you.
Okay. See, I bought it to feed somebody else and it fed somebody else.
Yes.
So
apparently that person you bought it for wasn't hungry.
I didn't need it as much.
Didn't need it as much as that man.
And God knew better.
Oh, Lord.
Yes. Good. And that gentleman was very...
Don't let me jump on the bench and start speaking tongues inside here.
Not yet. We may, but not just yet. We will not much of the studio.
We have one Baptist inside here. We have one Adventist in here and one Pentecost.
Oh, praise the Lord.
I am Pentecost. I am New Testament. I am Baptist. I am Church of God. I am Nazarene.
Guess what? Him nearly no belong nowhere. No, cause he said dog have too much yard. Sometimes go at them bed
They're
without
hungry.
supper. Okay, so Wayne Wallace, other than being a police officer in Trelawney, who is Wayne generally speaking?
Who is Wayne?
Yes.
I am one loving human being
Mhm.
who was born 49 years and Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 49 years and 5 days old today to a beautiful dark woman in Sablamar, Cynthia Harvey, and a handsome man by the name of Edward George Charlie Wallace. And they are responsible for me to be in here. I am a born again Christian. I grew up in the apostolic faith. I am from a very large family. I love people. I love to sing. I love to smile. I love to eat. I love to be happy. And I love to make people feel special once they're in my space. And I love policing from I was a child until this day. And there's nothing that you can do to discourage me as a police officer. Because if you cut me now, all that will come out of my body is police, not even blood. I am police.
You hear that, my listeners? He is doing, living, walking his passion. And when you're doing your passion, you do it very well.
Yes.
And then his passion is gently managed and guided by his principles. And so he is doing very well. So I have it here that you work in the CSSB department. Tell us what that is.
Well, CSSB is a term shortening for Community Safety and Security Branch. I have been with this section from it was Community Relations until it was changed to Community Safety and Security. It is the arm of the JCF that shows the humanitarian side of the police. So we are called upon to go into the community, to interact with the police, with the people, and to let the people feel like they are a part of the JCF, and that's what we do. Mark you, if we have to effect an arrest or to write a ticket or to investigate a motor vehicle accident or a sudden death or have to go on a crime scene, we do it. But we are the face of the JCF, and our mandate is to showcase the positive side of policing.
How important is this to policing and community relations?
It is very important because the people in Jamaica, they are looking for a police force that they can run to in the time of storm. They are looking for a go-to police. And when I say go-to police, they want to know that they have a police that they can run to with any problem that they're having. And they do not have to be afraid that when they go to the police, their business will be out there in the public domain. So there's a police who knows how to be a police, knows how to keep a secret, knows how to listen. Because some people don't know the art of listening. And that's what my department is to the public. We exceed our customers' expectation by giving them more than what they expect from their police.
Very good. That sounds good. And I hope the more that we get is the more positive and not the negative.
Beautiful.
Very good. So we have a serious thing going on in our country now, It's as if security, we not feel safe anymore. Even more than first time. We are even less safe in our minds. It may not be fully reality, but in our minds, it is not so safe right now. We have a lot of youth who do not respect the law. Are they not afraid of the law? I'm not even sure it's which one. You might tell me, you're interacting with them. Is that they're not afraid of the law? Is it that they don't respect the law? Are they just daring and dry eye, as my grandmother say, push rub coconut in them eye? Them just take a chance. And I remember we were having a discussion and persons were saying, because the curfew is on, some of them become even more daring and do their criminal acts in broad daylight. And it's a problem we have in the community. So how do we acknowledge what is happening and how do we create that change through partnerships with the police to make this happen?
Well, you see, Doc, the Bible must be fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
And it is being fulfilled right in our eyes. I remember when I was 17 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and even younger, and my parents and the Bible would speak about the generation of vipers.
Yes.
I never dreamt that I would live to experience the generation of vipers. And so that is what we are experiencing, and the Bible spoke about it.
Mm-hmm.
It reached a stage where our children today, they have no values. Our youth, they have no values within themselves. They have no respect for themselves. And so because they have no respect for themselves, then they will not have respect for law and order.
Mm-hmm.
And so we still have to cry for divine intervention. And I'm so happy that even though COVID would have locked down the church and other entities, the church was able to expand online, and the church was still alive and well. And so we cannot do without the church. So what we have to do now is to continue to seek divine intervention to help these youngsters. Because when they come into my space,
Mm-hmm.
you have to have a spiritual eye to see the spiritual things. The man with the physical eye can't see it. And most times when they come into my space, I can see the evil. I can see the evil spirit surrounding these youngsters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we still have to go into sackcloth and ash and cry out to God to deliver these young people.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so happy that I have the pastors in Trelawney on standby.
Mm-hmm.
Because when these youngsters come across us, we have to call them to help us to cast out these demons out of these youngsters. Nothing but demons. And so we try not to give up on them. We try not to condemn them. We try not to discriminate against them, but to show them some love. Just last week, one came to report on a condition of bail. He is about 15, 16 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and he's reported on condition of bail for a gun crime. And the
Wow.
spirit said, call him in, because he always pass and say, hello, Sergeant Wallace, and so forth. But I call him in this day, just Monday.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to him, there is always a better way.
Oh, yes.
And they need to know that there is always a better way. And how they are going to know? The police and our civic agencies, our stakeholders, will have to come together and sit and to work out ways and means of how we're going to reach these youngsters, because all is not lost.
Mm-mm.
There is still hope for them. They just need someone to guide them. They just need someone to say, hey, there's another way. To say, I love you, how are you? Because some of them not getting it from home. And so you talk about them, but we also have to talk about their parents.
Mm-hmm.
The homes that they're coming from need God to sit down in it.
Yes.
When we were kids, and I can say that now, because I'm 49. When we were kids, our parents would not say certain things in front of us. They would not say certain things in front of us,
Mm-hmm.
or do certain things in front of us. You know that we couldn't even ease our body in front of an adult.
Yes.
That's the
Our
respect.
burp.
Or burp, or whistle.
Mhm.
You get a conk in your head.
When
You're
I say a
a
big
man.
man,
You're a
yes.
woman.
Mhm.
And so the generation has changed, and adults talk anything in front of children, and adults have no respect for children. So the children just live what they learn.
Yes. Yes.
You know?
Yes.
And so the home has a responsibility, and the home need to realize that they are also an institution. They
Mhm.
are a school. Our parents are teachers,
Mhm.
and we have to be careful what we teach our children.
But so I want to say to you now what is, as I was talking about the Generation Z's and all of that before now, at the breakdown, I normally say to friends with no apology, just an acceptance that is reality. Some of the breakdown in society started with my generation, in that we decided that our parents' parenting style.
Your generation is a nappy generation. This generation is a diaper generation.
Not true.
The nappy always tight pan we,
Mhm.
but the diaper slack.
Yes, and a whole nobody.
Now hold on.
No, nobody. It's true. And so now we had a generation that come in now that decided that this way is not the right way. And I must say, I'm not only blaming the generation that said this way is not the way, no. I'm blaming our generation because our governments were part of our generation that were leading the next generation. And they agree with our generation and the generation afterwards to say can't work, so teacher can't beat, parents can't beat no more. When your child is 16 and if you tell him, say, if him have sex, you put him out, they're going to tell you, no, you have to take him in back because he's not 18 yet. And a lot of wrong messages were being sent. And then guess what? No proper thing was put in place because we could transition out of beating, because I don't really believe in beating. I never used it. I don't take my children them all that bad. However, we decided that the old way was not the right way. But then we did not put a proper way in place. So we became a reactive generation. Children starting to have no manners, we decide, we have to do something. And then we start the trial and error. We did not make a decision 5 years before to say we have to transition out of this and then create a transition plan. And as a psychologist, I'll tell you, you'll not see, and even the sociologists will tell you even more than I know, that changes take time and you don't see the impact of change until about 5 years.
Yeah.
So all of what we're doing now, we're not going to see the true impact of it until 5 years down the road. However, we did not do parenting training correctly and advise. So we end up with the problem we have. So in order to fix this now, what are the ways we're going to intervene? Because we have to, while we want the youth to change, we have to start with the parents.
We need to get a culture change in their minds, and teach them how to be independent, how to be more responsible, how to be respectful, how to fear God. That's when they don't fear God,
They don't fear God, no, man.
So if they don't fear God, then they can't fear man. And so we have to, I always talk about my mother.
Yes.
I see I'm wearing my mother and father on my hand. See, mommy and daddy is with me. Because I grew up in a community, in the ghetto, the heart of Savannah Lamar.
Yes.
In a one-room board house with my mother, my little brother, and my sister.
Yes.
My mother and my sister would be on the big bed, and me and my little brother on the little bed. The bed, kaya mattress. So they put old clothes on it, so the mattress, the spring don't juke us, and put newspaper in the board so that night dew don't come in on us. And when I peep in the bed, I push my little brother in there and tell mommy, say, Peter, peep in the bed. I'm going to beat him and I laugh off for him. But we were in this one room.
Yes.
We were poor, but we never knew that we were poor until we became an adult. And our mother, who could not read and write, she used common sense to grow us.
Yes.
You seen me now. You're seeing the refined Wayne Wallace. I was a koro when I was growing up. My mother would tell you that I would push my big toe down into the earth and I'd curse bad word to any adult that interfered with my mother. And what I used to curse, never sell a pings.
All right.
No, hurry. But my mother saw where I was going, Auntie Julia, and she sent the two of us to 2 church every single Sunday.
Yes.
At 7 o'clock, we had to be at St. George's Anglican Church. And we stay for Sunday school until 9 a.m. We would go home and have breakfast. And we had to be at Pentecost Church by 9:30 for Sunday school.
Yes.
And we had to study the Sunday school lesson from the night before. Because when we go to church, we have to know it by heart. And then we would stay there until midday worship is finished.
Which in Pentecost church is about
4 o'clock.
2 or 4.
4
Yeah,
o'clock.
always late.
4 o'clock church would over every Sunday.
Yes.
And so that has become a part of us. And it is still my ritual at age 49. When I go home, I go to church. And then I realized that my mother was building a spiritual foundation for us to stand up on because she knew that I was heading down the wrong path. And so we didn't have a choice. We had to go to church. Now, how many parents is going to church and leaving their children behind?
But when can I put it to you that when I was a child and even when I became an adult, we had a lot of children whose parents never went to church, but Saturday and Sunday they pick them up in a church.
But when I was going to church, to the two churches on a Sunday, my mother wasn't going to church.
Thank you. The
Mommy
parents
still
had
want
to
prepare-
go.
Mommy still want to prepare our meals and school uniform and so forth until when we became an adult, she started going to church.
Right. I met a gentleman some time ago, maybe 3-4 years ago. When I met him, he was about 30-something years old. And he said to me at that time when I met him, at 30-something, he had never gone to a church in his entire life. He don't go funeral. Nobody has never invited him to a wedding. And he was never sent to church by his parents.
Wow.
So he had never gone to a church. When we were talking about church and going to church and the benefits of church, he said he brought up the conversation because he's now a father and he wants his children to grow up in church. So now he's going to have to find himself to go to church because he don't want to send them. He wanted to take them.
And it is commendable of him, even though he did not go to church. He saw the need of sending
and saw the benefit.
his children.
Yes,
go.
because what he does, he looked at the gaps in his own life compared to some of his friends and decided that he wanted more. But before you go to that, I want to just, big up some of our listeners and see what they have to say because I don't want this stream to run far, right? So I see Miss Monteith is on with us.
Auntie Velma.
Yes. And, before I go to Miss Monteith, Mr. Fitness says, happy belated birthday, Sergeant, from Juliet.
The Auntie Julie.
Right. And Mr. Philip Lodge, yes, greetings to you. Miss Monteith is saying something here. She says, good afternoon. Can you speak to the role of police youth clubs in our communities? Yes, we have it on the list. We'll talk about it. It's on the agenda. And Mr. Fitness is asking, Sarge, as usual, your words are so profound and coming from a magnificent place. Continue to do God's work, sir. Doctor, love how you made the platform with the topic. What a phenomenal and magnificent. Oh, Lord, I like when you big me up. Magnificent, and you big up Fit FM too. Magnificent station, Fit FM 96.7 is, yes, indeed, we are big, we are broad, and we are magnificent. You are listening to Dr. Asha Mwendo on Healing Moments on Fit FM 96.7. My guest this evening is Sergeant Wayne Wallace. Remember, we want to hear from you. So if you're on Facebook, you can put your thoughts there. If you are listening to us on any other platform, you can still communicate with us. So send us your WhatsApp messages at 876-482-4944 or 876-317-1991. The persons who are sending me messages at the moment on my personal line, I am not going to be able to access those while I'm on air. Please go back to 876-482-4944 or 876-317-1991. That way, Madam Producer can assist me with that part. So go to that line and send your messages or put them straight on Facebook. Miss Julia will help me to read them from Facebook or from the other lines if you send them in. So, yes, Mr. Watts, we're not going to really touch the Miss Velma's point just yet, although we have it on the agenda. It's down there.
Auntie Velma is reading a script.
Yeah, she read. I don't like when Auntie Velma looking over my shoulder, as it reminds me when they said she was reading my script and looking over my shoulder. Based on my personal belief on the Bible, I believe when you're dead, you're dead. And people like to tell you that your family watching you from heaven and all of these things.
Yes.
And I used to say, me no things that everything me they do know me want my mother to look down and see me at. Says Auntie Velma now looking over my shoulder.
Because she's alive.
Yeah, thank God she's alive because me don't get very conscious. But that's my personal belief. I believe in our ancestors' journey, but I still do not believe that the dead is anywhere watching me.
It's so ironic
Yes.
that you're speaking about the ancestors.
Yes.
Because While I was coming to work this morning,
Mhm.
I said to myself that I am coming into Fit FM. I remember when it was launched. And I said to myself, I use the same word. I would love to come here and pay and honor the ancestors who would have may help to make this program or this station possible. And I'm going to do it now. Let's drink to the hardworking people. Let's drink to the salt of the earth. And I want to make a toast to the memory of the late Umoja Benaya, the husband of Julia Meikle Benaya, and her late father, the late Sergeant Meikle, the traffic police in Trelawney. If it wasn't for him, she would not be born.
That's not true.
And I thought about these two
platform.
people. Yeah. I thought about these two people today, and here you are talking about ancestors.
Yes, I don't know why I bring up the ancestors, even though I don't believe like some people do.
And about the drink.
Oh, you do your drink. Me drink mine already. Those in radio language is water we're drinking. You hear?
Water.
Right. Why I bring up the ancestors, right? Really what Ms. Bell was saying, I am not dog, just thought it plays an important role in youth development. Of course, my dear, and
Yes,
I do
yes,
agree with you. And so why I brought up the ancestors, they are the ones who would have set a foundation for us, good or bad. But for me, no, I did when I was doing my studies, and I remember I did some African research, and I spoke with some African elders because I wanted to understand the ancestor story. Because I'm saying, I have some people in my family who are dead and gone. I mean, you know what, they guide me if you do nothing. Come not they know if you do nothing good. You know? And so when I spoke with them, I get to the understanding in that if you have a bad relative that dies, they are forgotten. You do not speak their name in the halls. You do not speak their name in the homes. They are not considered among the ancestors. So the ones who you consider among the ancestors would be the good ones who can bring good light, good guidance. So I'm saying no to our people, the ancestral ground that your forefathers would have made. And I asked a young lady recently, if your grandmother could have gotten the opportunity to wake up and walk the earth with you at the same time, would she prefer to go back to death than to live with you the way you are living now? And, you know, she couldn't answer. And some of maybe we are remiss in not sometimes guiding our youth in telling them of who they really are, giving them an idea of the kings and queens from who they are ascendants.
It's important that they know their past.
Yes.
Know their history. And if you know your history, then you will appreciate where you're going.
And it will guide you into where you're going.
Yeah.
And that is how the ancestors guide our path, by us using the right history. And then again, you have to be careful which history you are reading. And that is what I'm saying to us as a people. Let us wake up. You know, we had Amina on some time ago, and she's talking about the stories. We need to start telling the stories to our children, telling them Anansi's story need to come back. As funny as it is, if you listen to some of the Anansi stories that we listen to, you would know when Anansi does something wrong, the judgment will reach Anansi. And those who do it right, you will see the glory that comes to them. Anansi's story was created for a guidance to the people. So we might not want to call it Anansi's story, but we need to be guiding our children, our ascendants that will take over from us. I don't say this descendant, right? What is them me talking? I call them ascend, because I'm nobody descendant. I'm ascending from what my parents were.
Did you remember any Anansi story though that I trying to remember?
We know quite a few. Remember the one with Anansi and brother Tukuma? I remember the one when snake went saying longer than the bamboo and they must stress snake and tie snake.
I think one day I should come back here with the Anansi book.
I will do some Anansi stories. That's a deal.
And then you know, because our children don't know what, hey, diggle, the cat and the the cow jump over the boat.
I was watching
the little dog laugh to see such a fun.
What did TVJ? They had their father feature on. and they were telling some nursery rhymes, and the fathers were to fill in the blank. And the poor young father, him no have no idea about dickory, duck and clock run up no clock. The rat run up no clock. He don't have no clue. He couldn't fill it in.
Let me hear it.
Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jump over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such a thing. And the
little dog laughed to see such a fun. And the cat ran away with the spoon.
And that thing, that nursery rhyme caused my daughter to have to leave a basic school.
Oh my word.
Because when Alana was going to the basic school in our community, not even going to talk about the name of the basic school, the teacher was teaching her that the cow jumped over the moon. But we had cows and we raised cows and they were not jumping over any moon. So she tell the teacher that nothing don't go so, and she not talk about no knife and fork because the ones in her granny kitchen not moving. And instead of the teacher now using her smarts to educate the child on the purpose of nursery rhymes, she tell a child, don't come back without your parents. At basic school age, now I am in college and my mom is going to call me and say, you have to take a day off from school to come and go to school with your picnic. Because me not see why me if you follow no basic school picnic at school. And show me know some mother sometimes not so cool-headed. Me make sure say me come. And so I came. I came and I went to the school and the teacher started to give me all the problems she was having with my daughter. She refused to do building blocks because she can already write her name and she not do no building block. And she was giving me all of the complaints. And I said to the teacher, I don't see you having a problem here. You have a student that is no advanced beyond the group you want to keep her in. Advance her to the other group, give her more work that will challenge her, and she started to carry on and she argued. I couldn't take the problem no more. So I still tell Alana, take up your book, take up your things and come on. And the teacher's response was, oh, the picnic can do better like mother like picnic.
Like mother like daughter.
like mother like picnic. Then the principal, all the time principal was around there listening to the conversation. She never came around. When she realized we were going to leave now, that is when she came around, but you never know why she come. She think we want back the school fee.
Oh.
So she coming now to protect the school fee, not to return it. I said to her, it's okay. I took her home, asked my stepfather to go register in another basic school. She went to that basically in the old uniform until we got her a new uniform. Because now I must tell her she went to West Indies College Prep. And they understood how to work with a child as advanced as she was. So you get a child who already can spell her name and all of that at that little age. A good something you get. You could use this as a star student. And so that is one of the things that the breakdown with our generation of children we have now. They are born smart. And so if not rightly guided from early, we're going to have problems with them. And so, Sarge, you're out there in the field. You are seeing these bright, misguided brains creating smart ways of doing the wrong thing.
So I'm going to give you an example.
Mm-hmm.
A young man was sent to me
Mm-hmm.
sometime last month. He was sent to me by C-Day with a letter for him to be mentored.
Okay.
At 14 years old, he's a scammer.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't do schoolwork anymore. And he does the online scamming where he communicates with his clients through email, scam them. And I didn't even know that the money come to them now on a card, like a debit card.
Oh.
And so at 14, he's able to do that. So I said to the agent, why are you sending him to me? Why not let them charge him? She said, Sarge, when I look at him, he has manners, he has respect, and he's honest. I see hope in him.
He's honest thief.
Yeah, because he admit that he's doing it.
Yes.
You know? And the same breath, his friend, he received $64 for his friend. And somebody took it away from him. And a friend threatened to kill him. So I had to warn him, counsel him in the office. I preached him like Paul. And I said to him, you are going to die. Your grandmother and your grandfather is going to die. And right now your grandfather is packing up to leave because of you. Is this what you want? I took him around to the cells and I showed him the living condition around there. I said, is this what you want? He said, no. And I was going to lock him up, But then I believe that sometimes when you counsel them, it is more effective than arresting them. And so I spoke to him and we took away his phone and he came back for it. And he came back to me and he said, Sarge, I'm going to change my life because I don't want to kill my grandmother and I don't want to die. And right now I'm mentoring him, trying to change his ways in scamming. Spoke to the grandmother this morning. She said she haven't seen him for a few days. But this is where it reached.
I have another case for you too.
I mean, I cut you. I said to him, you can use your smart brain into positive things.
Yes.
Because I said to him, at 14, compare your 14 years to my 48 years. I was 48 at the time. I said to him, you're brighter than I am. And you are brighter than I was at your age. Use it positively. And so I tell him that I'm going to be his big brother. And I'm to go and look for him now because he must change. And may I pray over him. May I pray over him that God deliver him. And so there are so many others out there. And I believe that
while
as the
you're
police...
doing the conversation, I wanted to know, make a link in how the Police Youth Club can help in us saving these young people.
I am a product of the Police Youth Club.
Yes.
It was a Police Youth Club that taught me through SDC how to use knife and fork.
Okay.
They taught me that how I should use the soup spoon, the dessert spoon, which is different. They taught me that I must not wear a black shoes with a white socks. I was just 16 at the time when they taught me that. And
why? We never know
they
that.
said that you're not properly dressed if you're in white shoes, white socks, and black. It must be black socks with black shoes or a blue socks, but it must be a dark colored shoe.
Oh, okay.
And
So
today, anytime I see,
that one.
I don't. The only white socks I wear must be to go to the gym. And Mr. Fitness is gonna say, you don't reach at the gym yet.
Yes. Seems that
but because SDC and Police Youth Club taught me that.
Yes.
Even though if I see somebody dressed in a white socks and a black shoes, I said to myself, they don't know that they're not properly attired.
No, we know. Can we get fit
and
as
so
my young
being
people?
a product of the Police Youth Club, we are trying our best to gather these youngsters to come in and to train them and to teach them proper way of growing up, proper values and attitudes. COVID would have put a separation in it, but now that the Prime Minister is putting a little freedom, we will have to re-engage them.
Yes.
But some of them still meet online. Recently, we had a Police Youth Club church service online, and our Bishop, Assistant Commissioner of Police, Welch, was on it. So we are trying to reach out to them some more. We have the band. The band is a typical example where we teach them music through Kermit, and we teach them proper way of bringing them up. And
so if I live in a community and there's no Police Youth Club, who starts a Police Youth Club? The police or the citizens?
The citizens can, and the police will come in and teach, just like the Neighborhood Watch. So let's talk about Police Youth Club and Neighborhood Watch.
Yes.
The citizens can gather them together, and we, the police, come in and teach you the rules and regulations of the club, what is expected of the Police Youth Club. Once you're a Police Youth Club member, you're automatically a part of the JCF.
Yes.
So we'll teach you to act like a police officer or to act in a positive way, right? And if anything happens to you, the first thing you're going to say, Police Youth Club member. Case in point, there was an accident where these youngsters were running from the police in Kingston, and they crashed into the wall and died. And the citizens were saying that there was the police who killed them. And when you check it out, there was no gunshot wound. One of the young men in the car was a police youth club member, and that became a highlight. A police youth club member was involved, and so we encourage them to act responsible and to be proper. And once you're a police youth club member, also, and you have your subjects, and you apply to be a part of the JCF, we will push your application
Transition
just because
easier.
you make it easier, just because you're a police youth club member. And look at me, police youth club mold me. And I am what I am today because not only because of my mother, but because of police youth club.
Yes. And I want to agree with you. When I just came to Trelawney, police youth clubs were very active because I remember I used to go with my husband to, because he was a member of police youth club at that time. And when he came here, even as a young public health inspector, the police youth club members would help him to be able to get his work done. I remember when I was in Top Trelawney, and that's where I came first. And the young guys, they were the ones who would help me to go out to do my projects. Even I went to Westmoreland because I worked in South for a year. And when I was to do my projects there, is the police would come members, and then they had this group done by Russia that was started by it's a football club, I think it was. What Richie Stevens was there,
yeah.
right? And so they
That's
used to
his
work.
baby.
They used to work a lot with me. These are the young groups that used to help new persons in the community to move forward. So yes, and some of the guys, I remember in some of the groups were guys who people would say them a bad egg. But when they joined these groups, they were able to help to guide them away from a life of crime into something else. And it also gave them recognition and prestige. Because now when they go anywhere to say, where you come from, Russia, but I am a member of, their respect now is no longer where you're from, but the group you are a part of.
And once you're a part of a civic group, if you go for a job interview, they look at you different.
Yes.
On a high. Once you're a part of police youth club, Kiwanis, Fit Club, or whatever it is, they look up to you. But if a citizen wants to get some youngsters together and some seniors together and to form a neighborhood watch, our police youth club, the police will come in and guide us. So you get the venue. If you want to come to the police and use the conference room, no problem. Just let us know, and we'll come in and guide you along. I went to a funeral, the memorial service we went to on Sunday.
Oh yes.
There was this policeman who works in St. James, and when I drove in, I looked at the youngster and I said, this young man is important. Now, everybody's important, you know. But he stood out.
The way he carried himself.
Yes, he stood out. And I was saying, I wonder if he's a pastor or what. And only to know that he was groomed right in Neighborhood Watch by Mrs. McCluckin, whose memorial service we went to. And he's a police officer now.
Yes.
And so there are many youngsters who were groomed through Police Youth Club who are now outstanding police officers in their community. And I am a case in point.
And I want to say, if you are listening to us this evening and you decide you want to start a police youth club in your area,
or a neighborhood watch,
if you want to start a police youth club first, you get the group together, talk to the police in your area. But if not, and you're in Trelawney, find Sergeant Wallace. He will guide you. If you want to start a neighborhood watch, you find Sergeant Wallace also, or you call me. I am the president for the Trelawney Neighborhood Watch movement. And I know a lot of us not using the word movement enough and saying associations. And I have decided that for Trelawney, we are going to be using the word movement more because it is a movement of change and transformation. It's something that is not static. It's a movement to move it into a better you. And listen to me. Anywhere you are this evening in your community and you want to create a platform for change, there's one thing people always say about Police Youth Club and Neighborhood Watch, that is informer group. It's not an informer group. It's a group that helps you to become more aware and to grow and to learn. And guess what? Wallace will attest, it's a support network. The memorial service that we went to on Sunday, if the church didn't have any members and only neighborhood watchers were to come and speak of this woman, the service would have been well done because we have preachers, singers, we have everything in the neighborhood watch that we could do a service all by ourselves.
And we had mourners too, so nobody
Yeah,
could
we
cry.
have mourners.
Yeah, we could cry. But Doc, I always tell people that the neighborhood watch, you watch your neighbor, not in the negative, but in the positive.
Yes.
You don't look out for your neighbor and to see which woman is going over him yard or which woman is going over her yard. You watch your neighbor and be neighborly friendly. And when you wake up in the morning, hello neighbor, hello. When I wake up in the morning, once I go in my veranda, my neighbor across the street, the little baby is saying, "Morning, Sergeant Wallace," the one at the left and the one at the right. And I just get up sometimes and get said, like, when I watch Coming to America with Eddie Murphy, and say, "Hello, my neighbor." I say, "Hello, my neighbor." But you are the managers of your community, right? We partner with different stakeholders, the municipal corporation, the fire department, the hospital, and JPS, to name a few. So if you are having a problem in your community with lighting, or you're having a problem with potholes, then you come together as a neighborhood watch, and each street coordinator would tell the meeting what's the problem we're having on street A or street B. And then we would make contact with the JPS to come in and fix the light. When you fix the light, then nobody will be able to rob you in the dark. When you fix the potholes, then your cars won't be mashed up, etc. And so when we do these, we get to make the community better. Yes. And that's what Neighborhood Watch do. You manage your community, you fix the problem, and then you can get even your seniors and your juniors together, and you have a good time. It's not only about meeting and so forth. You go to Milk River Bath. You have Golden Ages modeling competition.
Oh yeah.
They have spelling bee competition the other day. You get your little certificate and so. So you know how to have your fun in your community, and you keep your community together. And when you look out for each other, life will be better for everybody.
And and I want to add that it's something I keep on saying when I do trainings and development, capacity development. Each community is as strong as the weakest person that lives in there. So part of the parenting and solving the problem, sending the children, helping to send the children who are not yours to school, is building the strength of your community. Because I always say, okay, Lady G on the corner, can't send him in school, can you figure have 11? Lady G have 11 children not going to school. And they're growing because they're not going to stay little babies. And these 11 children that you refuse to help to feed, and they don't feel the love of the community, they are going to light that community a fire. Forget little warmth. They're going to burn down your community. They are that 11, those 11 children, if no intervention is done, can open the door for criminals to come into your community. Because why? They are hungry.
And they will not forget.
And they will remember that when they were hungry and the mom asked them for food, you're asking how comes.
Doc, there's a young man who works at the library in Falmouth. He's a driver for the library. Kenwood Shuttlewood.
I know him well.
You know him well?
Yes.
He's my brother,
True.
Well, better looking.
Well, if you say so.
I'll give you a story. I'll give you a story. We grew up on Darling Street together.
Okay.
We used to eat Nutribon and milk. God bless Edward Seaga. Nutribon and milk. Now, he used to work at his stepfather's black factory on Darling Street. So he would carry money to school. And he would buy us lunch, cocoa bread and patty, cocoa bread and chicken and rice. When him don't come to school, we have to go back to Nutribon and milk. Right? And when I was working in Negril, he was driving for solid waste, the garbage truck in South. I don't know if he's follow me. But since I came to Trelawney to work, he came to Trelawney and is now working at the library next door to me. And I tell everybody at my station, if you see him on the road and he don't have any money, if he come to the restaurant at the station at Falmouth and he doesn't have any money, give him whatever he wants and bill me for it. Because I remember the days when he fed me.
Amen.
a teenager going to school. And I said that when you said about the children in the community, if you have a piece of bread and you give them peace, when they become an adult, they will never forget it.
Yes.
We must plant good seeds if we want to reap good fruits.
Yeah.
And the children in the community where I'm from, where we were grown by the village. So when I go back to Sablamar, I have to stop at Miss Punsi yard, I have to stop at Sister Joy yard, to stop at Marian, Tom, and Dick and Harry yard and say, good evening, I am here. When my mother died, there are a few people in Sabbath I had to go back to and say thank you. So I remember the days when mommy couldn't afford chicken on a Sunday to cook for us. And I go by the neighbor and say, mommy said, please can she get a little chicken to cook? And instead of get a half a chicken, we get a whole chicken. One of them may go down next week or bury. And so if we go back to the old time days when the village took care of the children.
Yes.
You see other people's children out there going astray, you know, say, oh, Boogie Yaga, come here. You entreat them with love and show them the wrong way. Then our labor will not be in vain.
And that is it, you know, if we start really understanding what a community is, and we start understanding what and who your neighbor is, because your neighbor is not necessarily the person who lives next door to you.
No.
It's everybody that lives in your a matter of fact, Jamaica is a big neighborhood. Jamaica is a big neighborhood. That's what we are. That's who we ought to be. I remember early days I lived in Flanker with my grandmother. And we were brought up a little, well, people used to say we stush, me don't know. Because we couldn't walk barefoot, we couldn't go up, you know, that kind of way. But we were brought up to tell everybody you pass Audi. And we were brought up, nobody could beat us on the road even if we do anything wrong. But they know, we have seen it. Persons, you do something wrong, before you reach home, no mind sharp, then reach home to tell your granny about you. And then the parent adults talk, they guide the children, and everybody look out for everybody picnic.
And you see the adult on the street, you know, when you're doing something wrong,
You stop.
you stop.
Or you hide.
Yeah.
No, they don't. They look straight into your morning, as in your morning, and what them I do.
I was teaching my little daughter Cherise, and I said, do you remember the golden rules? She said,
What
no,
is the
daddy.
golden rule?
She said, she don't know. I said, you know, but you don't remember.
Mm.
And I said, please, thank you, good morning, hello, good afternoon. She said, oh, yes, daddy, I know the golden rules.
Mm-hmm.
This morning I was taking her to school, and I said, Cherise, what are the golden rules? And she told me,
Yes.
right? The song said, heal the world, make it a better place for you, me, and the entire human race. How are we going to heal the world? There's an instrument that God has blessed us with. Some of us use it to kiss. Some of us use it to talk like what we're doing now. Some of us use it to chat people business. Some of us use it to do this and that. But I want to remind Trelawney and the world that there is life and death in the tongue.
Amen.
And when we see these children out there, even if they're dirty and they're rude, use your tongue to speak life to them. Don't speak death, speak life over them, whether you know them or not, because there's life and death in the tongue. When I go into the communities and I don't say, come here, boy. I don't say, come here, I say, come here, son. When you say son to somebody, I know what to feel. When my daddy said to me on his dying bed, son, you come home. I feel it, and I'm still feeling it now. So I know what it feels like to say, son. When you speak to them with love, even if they are rude to you, there will always be something in the back of their head saying, this was healing for me.
Yes.
Case in point, there was a young girl and her boyfriend in the lockup at Falmouth. I offered her a cup of tea. Went to the canteen and I ordered tea for them. And she refused the tea and was rude to me. Eventually she took it. And one day I was in Sam Shop's care with one of my colleagues, Auntie Julia, and I saw the young lady on her phone talking to somebody. So I just keep watching her through one of my eye. And she came home and she said, are you a police in Falmouth? I said, yes. She said, I am the person that you gave the tea and I was rude to you. And I always wanted to say thank you and I'm sorry. And she never get the chance to see me again. And she came over. And I'm saying that that cup of tea, even though she was rude, she was frustrated. And because I know that once you're behind bars, you're frustrated. When them cuss you as the police, they don't mean it, you know. But it's a
They were
frustration
venting.
that they're going through. And so we just have to be calm with them and entreat them with love. The prisoner today can be a savior tomorrow.
Yes.
But we have the power to change people's lives, either in a negative way or a positive way. And we must go there and do it the right way.
Yes. I just say that, a few weeks ago, I was in Falmouth. A young man needed help. But when he came to me, the help he needed, I would have to get somebody else help to help him. But a young man, another young man, or older young man was watching, and he came over and he said, Miss, I can talk to you. So he pulled me away and I spoke with him and he was offering to help. And so I said, know the story. And he said, Miss, you don't remember me? I said, no. And he said, you remember the day that tell me if you like or something? I said, yes. Because what happened, I was walking in Falmouth, then this young man coming, phone on him chin talking, 3 food hug up on them arm here, so, and him have to hold up him pants. Now the food dropping, if him stop for hold up like the pants are gonna drop, the food might drop or the phone is going to drop. And he said, Miss, help me. And I said, let go something. And he looked at me, could not believe that I refused to help him. And he went and leaned up on the wall, and a friend of his came along and helped take the food out of him hand, him drop him pants. He tightened the belt around his waist and he went on his way. A few weeks after that, I saw him. And when I saw him, he was pointing me out to somebody else. But I smiled. And then he came over to me and said, Miss, me let go something. So I said, what have you let go? Yeah, me let go my pants. As you said, I was to use the belt for what it was made for. And so I using the belt to hold up my pants. And remember you said to me, I need to set myself free from the prison style. So I'm setting myself free. I'm going back to school. Never saw him again. When he stepped in now to help me with this young man, he let go of his bad ways. He went to school, did his course, and he is working, looking very nice and decent. I couldn't believe it's him really let go something. But he let go something to change his life. Just the way even when we correct them, if we correct them with love. I had to do counseling with a lady yesterday who was just falling apart. She would never stop crying when we were doing our program. Then I realized that she needs police intervention in order to create the change that must happen in our home. So I said to her, as a neighborhood watcher, I work closely with the police. So I'm not going to come to your house to help you because I don't want your sons to let me down. I am going to get the police on board. And her response was, yes. Get the police. Get Sergeant Wallace. So I said to her, I'm going to see him tomorrow. And she even gave me some clues of how to let you know who she is. So when we are finished the program, I have to get Sergeant Wallace to go and help a woman from losing her mind.
You were speaking about let go something.
Yes.
And you know what song came in my spirit?
Mm-mm.
Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our minds. Have no fear for atomic energy. You gotta fulfill to pull. Won't you help me sing this song of freedom? It's all I ever have. Redemption song. So Bob Marley was saying to us, you must emancipate yourself, free yourself from mental slavery, and let go some of the things.
Hold on a little bit, right? Just hold on.
Should I hold on to you or the desk?
The desk.
Okay.
Nice. And now when I say hold on to me, I don't want Mr. Fitness to get jealous. Just kidding. Anyway, I want to big up our listeners, I'm telling him to hold on because I'm going to let him go back to it, and Julia like to go find it too. Oh, she's not finding it. All right, I'm going to go back to it. But the reason why I'm doing this, I am mindful of the time, right? And normally, after my guests leave, finish talking, even if they sit with me, I would go into what I call my affirmation. And I have an affirmation here for you.
Can I
So
read it to you?
yes, you can read my affirmation for me. So I'm going to do the affirmation. So Mr. Wallace is going to do the affirmation for us. And then he will sing the parts of redemption song that he remembers.
No, before we do the affirmation, I have some birthday people listening to me. Teacher, yes, teacher Daniel Lee having a birthday today, and he's all the way in St. James. He's a teacher at Holland High School.
Okay.
Then Constable O'Shane Robinson, you're a traffic man in Clarkstown.
Yes.
His birthday as well. And Constable Graham. And I want to send healing to woman constable Samuels Barkley from my department, who left the hospital at 3 a.m. this morning. We send we send healing to you. And our retired Detective Inspector Simeon Hamilton, otherwise called Zaya, he died on Sunday.
Yes.
And the father of Detective Corporal Desroy Sangster out of the Duncans police area, he lost his father on Sunday as well. And we just want to send healing to them. I want to send healing to everybody in Trelawney, in the world, online, who's listening to this, your police officer. I know Richie's in Spicy Hill listening, and he actually took picture of me and you and sent it to my WhatsApp. Yes. And everybody who is listening right now, whilst we're preparing to do the affirmation, we send healing to your space. We send healing to your space, and you must claim it. And when anything negative come in your space, you flush it. Flush it, and just think on the positive. So the affirmation coming out of,
and you can add your words to
out of Fit FM right here in Trelawney, Jamaica, saying that, be reminded you were born a miracle. Be reminded you were born a miracle. And you don't need to wait to be great. You're great right now. Just for you to identify the greatness within you and to give birth to it. If you don't give birth to the greatness inside of you, it is going to die like a baby in the belly. All right? So you got to push. And sometimes when you're pushing, it comes with pain. But in order to give birth, pain must come. So please don't stop pushing until you give birth to your greatness. You were born with greatness within you. The Creator is waiting on you to reach out to him, to guide you to your full potential. And let me say it again. You were born with greatness within you. The Creator, the Lord God Almighty, is waiting on you to reach out to him, to guide you to your full potential so that you can maximize your true potential. And you need no one's permission to become your best self. I am not waiting on anybody's permission for me to execute my best self. I'm going to push it out. Some enough and plenty or anything, or me a salt or me a water. You can't do without salt and you can't do without water. So I am going to be your salt and I am going to be your water. So I'm not waiting on anybody's permission to become myself and toot your own horn. Toot, toot, toot. Toot your horn, encourage yourself. And tooting your horn don't mean that if you give me a pair of shoes, you're going to come on Fit FM to say, I gave Julia a pair of shoes. No. There's negative way and a positive way of tooting your horn. I am tooting my horn right now on Fit FM by smiling with you. And it is coming from the depths of my heart. And there's always enough space in my heart for you and you and you, all of you. So remember, please, you already have all you need to be successful and to be great. Just reach within, then reach up. And if you need help, reach out for help. Cry out for help, bawl out for help. You understand me? Don't be too stush to say, I need help. The other day I said I wanted a cell phone because my phone was, the screen was going on. And I put it on Facebook and I said, I need a phone for my birthday. And by Friday morning, I woke up I got offers for 2 cell phones.
Awesome.
You see?
It was him when you know.
Jesus, my daughter take one. But I'm saying, reach out, folks.
Yes.
Not using people, but speak what you need.
Yes.
And the Lord will supply your needs according to his riches in glory.
Amen.
My superintendent, Carlos Russell, gave me permission to be on air.
Yes.
When I asked him, he gave me the thumbs up. He said, go
Yes.
on air.
Yes.
And I want to greet him and all the police officers in Trelawney. I send you love and I send life into your space. And I pray and decree and declare that no evil that come nigh your dwelling, and your dwelling is at work and at home. We send healing and divine protection for you. I feel a shout coming on, Auntie Julia. I feel a shout coming on right now. Yeah, I feel like I would just jump and dance in the studio.
Amen. Praise the
now.
Lord. Thank you, Jesus.
It's a nice atmosphere inside
And
here.
so you notice he did my affirmation for me very well. I could not have done it better.
And it's the first I've seen it.
Yeah, it's mine. I write them new every day.
Oh, Lord.
I write them new every day. So this affirmation is written by me. So it's unique. It is new. It is my words. And I do them for every week for the show.
You better plagiarize it now because I might just steal it.
I have no challenge because did you know that imitation is the greatest form of flattery? Because people don't imitate foolishness, you imitate something that you think is good. So I am not one of those that become hung up on people using the things that I teach, because if I didn't want anybody to know it, I wouldn't do it. When I am blessed and I use my gifts and persons imitate it, I am forced to do more, and I become a better version of who I was yesterday. And so that's what I'm encouraging persons to do. So remember now, you are listening to Healing Moments on Fit FM 96.7. I am your host, Dr. Asha Mwendo. When I finish speaking, Sarge will do his thing, and then it will be goodbye from us. I want to big up all my listeners internationally this evening, from wherever you are across the globe. Thank you for checking in. And for all the messages I keep on getting, I will read them later. Anyone that belongs to Sarge, I will tell him about them. And so I know no matter how I ask you to go on, you'd like to send me them privately. And to be honest, sometimes the things you said, you also need support and you don't want everybody to know. So remember, if you need help for any mental, emotional challenges you are facing, call us at Fit FM 96.7. Call us, we'll help you. And if you cannot get Fit FM when you call, remember, you call me directly on 876-870-2284. So I'm saying goodbye from Healing Moments. I'm Dr. Asha Mwendo, your host. Yes. And I want to big up all my listeners. And to be honest, when I have guests like these, we could go on and on and on. But I am going to respect time, and I want you to go home to your family a little bit, not so late.
You see, there's a healing moment. I like it. And every time you say healing moment, I feel healing inside of me. And there are so many persons out there that are hurting.
Oh, yes.
And they are hurting secretly.
Mm-hmm.
And they do not know that if you reach out, that's why they don't trust people. But there are some people that you can trust. Please, I'm begging you, don't stay out there and deal with the hurt by yourself. There is help.
Help is
there
available.
Is help out there. And if you're in a domestic relationship, if you're in a relationship and it becomes abusive and no good and no respect in it, cry out for help. There are many men out there who are getting beaten from their women, and they don't want to come and talk to the police because they think we're going to laugh at them. There is help for you men, and there's help for you women. And I'm begging our friends, stop beating each other. Love each other, not abuse the woman them. Because without the woman them, you can't survive.
Yes.
And women, stop beating your men.
Yes.
Because without the man, you can't survive either. We need each other to cohabit. And please, I'm begging you, come in. There is help for you. We partner with the churches, the neighborhood watches, and everybody. And Doc, before we leave, we could just sing a song for them now.
Then let me say you go do.
Me and you, we can do a duet.
I sing far, far back.
I sing because I'm happy.
Yes.
Make yourself happy. Smile. Turn up in the mirror and look at yourself and smile and give God thanks for who you are.
Awesome.
And heal your body. You can heal yourself because there's life and death in your tongue. And speak, thus said the Lord, and claim your healing. I feel like preaching inside the studio here today. But I feel nice inside here, Auntie Julia. Yes, I don't want to leave you. I need to come more often.
Yes, you do.
This is the beginning of many more coming to Fit FM.
You can be my co-host anytime.
And Auntie Julia, I want to say to you that we appreciate you for what you're doing here at Fit FM. And last week, Saturday, we had our police recruiting. And before that, I called Auntie Julia and asked her
to do something for us. Yes, you did say you were going to tell her thanks. You nearly don't tell her thanks.
And I want to say to her, thank you for the free advertisement that you gave to the police. You know, Julia is police, you know. Her father was police in our blood. Want to say publicly thanks to you. I did say it on WhatsApp. But thanks for your support to your police. You're always supporting the Trelawney police, and God continues to smile on you. I look over on you, and I said, "But Julia, you look so young. Every time I see you, look younger." And I said, "The grace of God." The Lord said He'll beautify the meek with salvation, and that's what you did. The recruiting drive, we had over 100 persons showing up, but only 95 were qualified enough to sit the exam. And out of the 95 that sat the exam, 43 were successful, right? And we encouraged the others to come in, and a lot of them returned yesterday and did the exam. And we try not to turn them away, but we work with them.
Yes.
And you know, one of the achievements on that day, there was a young man from South Trelawney who came to do the police test. I won't call his name. And when I look at him doing the exam, his shoes was begging bread. You know when shoes are beg bread?
Yes, child.
A poor young man's shoes burst out. And by the time the exam was finished, the shoes gave way, and he had no shoes to walk home. He walked to the police car. We took him in town, and he walked barefooted in his socks. And my Constable Jones cried when she saw it, and my heart was torn. It reminded me of when I was going to school in my grandmother's pants. Yeah, I wore my grandmother's pants to school, but nobody knew. And Jones went home for a pair of shoes, and when she came back, the shoes couldn't fit the young man. And she cried more. And I called a friend in Falmouth. I said, "You have a size 11 shoes, can give me if you give somebody?" He said, "No, Wallace. Me give away everything. All I have is the slippers on my foot. I'll give it to you." I said, "Take it off me, I come for it." And when I went to his house in Falmouth, he came outside with a brand new pair of shoes, leather boot, and gave it to me to give the young man. I said, "God bless you." And he got his shoes, and he's coming back to do his interview in his shoes, you know. And it softened me that day, but I'm happy that he passed the exam, and he was going to be an asset to the JCF.
Amen.
He's going to be an asset, and there are so many out there, you know, who just need the help. And so what we do at the station also is we collect clothing and shoes, and we go into the communities and give it to those who need it. So if you have clothes, you know, for a lot of you out there have a lot of clothes put down, send them to me at the station. We have young people out there who need it. And this is part of the healing process. And when your police go into the community and do good in the neighborhood, it also helps to heal our nation and to let our youngsters know that the police is there for them. And as long as I sit in this chair as a police officer, I am going to continue to use my powers to heal the world, make it a better place for you and me and the entire human race.
Yes, and as Sergeant Wallace brought up the fact that we need your support, I'm just reminded we need your support. We need newborn baby clothes. I have 3 mothers, one 17, one 18, and I'm not remember the age of the other. We have 3 mothers now. We'll be having baby in August, and they don't have anything at all. So if you are listening to us right now, help us to reach out to these persons. And as Sarge said, anything you have, bring it in. Sometime when Sarge reached out to me, my kitty empty too. And my love closet is empty.
But when your kitty empty, you always call somebody
A
else
true
to
still.
drop in the
You know,
kitty.
fi tell them.
And so, no, we have to talk the
A
things
true,
them
a
because
true.
I don't like to go
It's
over to
true.
people's casket and sing their praises. They're
Listen to
not
me.
hearing it.
That's why I don't want no
Right?
funeral.
So I love to scatter roses right now. So Auntie Julia, you know me love a long time. And Doc, you know some love and rate a long time. Your husband know that already. And your husband didn't know that. So we're all one.
Yes, so
I feel nice inside
as
here.
we close off this evening, we close off about a 100 time, not true? So as we close off this evening, I'm saying to you, remember, love your neighbor as yourself is not just a thought alone. It is something that if you practice, you will reap the benefits. You'll feel the warmth of the community if you help to put your own fire stick into the fire. If you take your fire stick out by itself, it will go cold. Together, we make a difference. Sergeant Wallace, my new co-host, when him have the time, he will come back.
You know, I'm off. Actually, it's my day off, you know.
And he is here.
I'm coming to work because I have to go on studio. So guess what happened? Heal the world, make it a better place for you and for me and the entire human race. That's it. Stay tuned. Next week you'll get more.
Amen. So walk good, my people. I love you so much. Thank you for joining me. And remember, come back next week. Together, we'll do it all over again. Goodbye from Healing Moments. I am your host, Dr. Asha Mwendo.
And I am your co-host, Sergeant Wayne Anthony Wallace.
Walk
good until next week. May good dopey follow you.
Amen.
Miss Lou.
All right. Kick it now, man. Tristan, kick it now. Oh, mama. Well. Say God is still loving me. Yeah. Save me from sin and shame. He removed my shackles. Yes, he did. And he broke those chains. God is still loving me. Sometimes I wonder why. I know I don't deserve it. No. But he still gave his life. And I'm proud to do the work. God is mine. Running lonely. Say I ain't going nowhere. I ain't gonna leave my daddy.